Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your sister Sayyida Al Salaam, a certified Australian counselor, Muslimah counselor with you. And we are at our last episode of the series from Fitnah to Fitrah-Islamic parenting in the AI world. Now, this is not a goodbye and end to the series, but there is going to be a follow-up series of Beyond the Screen because many of our parents, audience have requested through the feedback form that they want me to talk about certain topics. So I am going to continue it, but it's just not going to be, this is the last episode of this series, but we are going to follow it up with Beyond the Screen series. So let's start off with our dua. اللهم إني أسألك رزقا طيبا وعلما نافعا وعملا متقبلا. In our last episode, we are going to speak about why we should reclaim the childhood. Now, in Islam, childhood is considered a precious phase of life that comes with responsibilities for both the child and the parent. This period is crucial for spiritual, iman, and moral development. As parents, we are entrusted by Allah to nurture and guide our children in a manner that instills good values and a strong connection to their faith. The rise of technology, particularly AI and social media, presents unique challenges. Children today are bombarded with information and influences that can dilute their Islamic identity. These platforms often promote trends and content that conflict with our values, creating fitna, distractions, and trials that can lead them astray. Our primary objective is to create a nurturing environment that aligns with the children's fitrah or natural disposition. This means fostering a space where they can thrive spiritually, emotionally, and socially away from the toxic influences prevalent in the digital age. I want you to do this reflective activity with me. You can write down in the comment. Now, there are two pictures over here. I took this from online. Now, and there are several on YouTube available too. I want you to do this and I want you to figure out among these two which one is the AI and which one is the real one. You can pause this video and you can write down in the comment or like write down in a book or something. As you can see, you find it very difficult to find out which one is the AI and which one is real. And as you can understand the fitna that we are facing right now, out of the 10 pictures that were presented to me, I was only able to find out for real. Like, I think my score was like 4 out of 10 because I was not able to find out which one is AI and which is real. As you can see that the gap between reality and virtual reality fake is actually diminishing. This is the fitna of the Dajjal. As a as a young girl, I always thought that when the Dajjal comes, there'll be like kufar written on his forehead, and there'll be this eye which will be bulging out from like a grape, and so on, and it'll be easy for me to recognize him. But as you can see right now, that out of the 10 pictures, I was able to find out which one is real and which one is fake. Like, I just got a 4 score, and even my kids, when I asked them, they were not able to understand, like, they were not able to identify which one is real and which one is fake. This is how it's like, the our reality, what's fake and what's not, is diminishing, and this is the fitna of the Dajjal, and it's coming on set. The onset is very, very soon, and it's coming very close to us right now because we are unable to understand what's real and what's not. The toxic trends that are happening nowadays is something that I want to speak about next. They, as I think so 5 6 years ago, there will be like any sort of trend that has come up, and we all jump on to try that out. There was this coal bucket, when I'm talking about the old ones, all right, not the new ones. There's a coal bucket one where everybody is putting ice cold water on themselves, and they said this is for a cause or something. I don't remember, maybe cancer. I don't remember. So they would put ice bucket on themselves, or a lipstick trend, or this dance trend, or this music trend, da da da. And there were like so many trends. As of now, the latest ones which I've seen is some, like, putting some powder in the water over a light, and it creates this, it makes it look good, and so on. So we jump on this wagon of trends with very blindly and without even thinking twice. Yes, probably these seem very harmless, and like what's the big deal, Miss Sister Sayada? Why are you saying, like, okay, if you're following trend, what's so harmful about this? It's not about following trends. It's about following trends very blindly. When you do follow trends blindly, there would come a day when you would not be able to understand, oh, this trend is beneficial or not, and just jump on the wagon and you just might do it. And there are like so many people who actually got killed trying to take a selfie from very crazy places, or doing something like jumping off a car to do this dance move, and so on. Yes, they are like, they are very silly. And do you actually ask yourself, do you actually need to do this trend, and who are you proving to, and what are you proving, and what's the purpose of you coming in this world in the first place? Is it to get all these likes and followers, or is it that you want to please your Lord, your creator, the one who created you? Now, I want to talk about another thing that is gaining popularity is creepy pasta. I'm sure most of you must have heard about it, or some of you must have not heard about it, and there are several versions to this. So the creepy pasta is like, they have horror and supernatural tales promoting fear, anxiety, and superstition. The other versions show you pictures. I had this client of mine who bought her 10, 11 years old child who had like, he was like not sleeping well in the night. He was always very anxious, would insist on sleeping with the parents only, and so on. The mom thought that, they were on an international holiday, and that's where, an event had happened, and maybe that fear was built in him. But when I spoke to the child, he told me that his cousins introduce him to this horror character, and there's some sort of an addiction nature to this. If you do, if you find out yourself, you learn about this, you would find that there's an addictive nature to this, where you, even I asked him, like, if you're scared, why you keep watching it? He's like, I can't stop myself. It's like, it tells me that I have to watch it, and so on. So this creepy character he was scared of, and he felt that this creepy character is going to come and kill him, or do something to him or his parents, and so on. So maybe that's something that we all need to be aware of. Another trend, or a game that came to light is of this Sprunky is something that came to light through a 7 year old. This boy had like under eye doxicles, and he was like he was really down and so on. But when I said like, okay, what do you like to do and stuff like that, he would immediately, his eyes lit up and he said, I like video games. Can I show you which video games I like? I said like, sure, yeah, why not? And then he showed me Sprunky. Now this game, it starts off very innocently. It starts off by showing it starts off by showing like, it's so innocent, cute characters and so on. You have to put hats on them and stuff like that, and all of a sudden, automatically, you don't even have to do nothing. Automatically, it changes into horror mode, and this horror mode makes you kill these characters in unspeakable way. Like, it's so gross. And for a 6 or 7 year old to actually witness this, as as an adult, I found it very disturbing. And for this little child, I just thought that it's just too much. And there was a sort of a rhythm chanting going on in the back, and I tried to try and understand. And later, when I did my research online, I found out that chanting goes like, "You can't sleep, you will die," or "You have to die," and some sort of, and it goes in a chant kind of a way, and it's very whisper like, "You can't sleep," something like that. And then it's like, and it gets stuck in your brain. And then this child says that he would wake up in the middle of the night and feel really scared. And of course, you're playing this game and you're engrossed in this game, and this chanting is going in the back. Don't you think it does affect you? It does. And this has created this anxiety in him, and he's sleep deprived, and he's not going through all of this. When I speak to the mom says that no, you know what, I do believe it's a very violent game, and he's very obsessed with it and so on. But the father believes that, oh, we all grew up watching horror themes, it's okay, he's just, I turned out fine, and this child is going to turn out fine, and so on. So you need to be careful about such things, and you need to know what you are exposing your kid. And it's not about toughening them up. Is it actually toughening them up, or you are making them, as they grow and they're going to have to deal with this kind of anxiety, and they feel all this fear in them? Is it something that you really want to do? snatch away their childhood, their innocence. Don't you see they are getting sleep deprived? Now that's something that each parent have to ask themselves. So, what are we fighting? We're consistently fighting digital distractions and moral confusions. You see these women take off the hijab and say, "Oh, I'm not a hijabi today anymore." So, girls, very young girls, try to question, "Oh, is that an option? Can we also do that?" Or we see women wearing very, very tight clothes and a very tight hijab on them, and in provocative ways, they are like, "Oh, this is modest clothing, and this is how, I'm a Muslim." Is this the Muslim identity that you want to put forward to these young girls or boys also? Boys. There's a lot of confusion over what's right, what's wrong, and there is a rise of instant gratifications, loss of patience. We need something, we need it now, or else we don't have the patience to wait all of it, and so on. There's a decrease in family connection and spiritual engagement. Everybody's looking for escapism, everybody wants me time, they want to sit with the mobile alone, they don't want to be disturbed, and so on. So where are we heading? So I'm going to refer this as Khomelut. So initially the Khomelut was like, in a very subtle manner. It'll be mentioned here or there, in the movies or sometimes in the books, but it would be very subtle. And these people would be, out of fear, they would not come out or say that they are who they are and stuff like that. But as of now, it's celebrated and it's everywhere. It's even in the curriculum. And I mean, back in Australia, it's like, children, very young children, they're taught like, there are different kind of families. There's like mom and mom, there's dad and dad, they're grandparents, or they can be a mom and dad family. So all families are accepted and so on. Right from, very young, they are asked to explore who they are, who they want to be. Do you really feel that you're a boy, or do you really feel that you want to continue being a girl, and so on? And I know many families back in the UK, Canada, US, they are preferring homeschooling. If they are not able to afford Islamic schools, they are happy to do homeschooling, then send them to public schools. Now, the citizen of these Western countries, they usually get free schooling. That's public school. It has good education, but we as Muslims fear not to send them. Now, the reason why I'm talking a little bit about Khomelut is because I want to tell you that what initially started off very in a very subtle manner has taken all over the world, that even yeah, I tell it's unfair that we are unable to use rainbow colors. And back in our days, as a child, every time I have to draw anything, there has to be a bright sun and a rainbow in the background, any kind of drawing that I would do. But as of now, my our kids are not allowed to use rainbow colors or rainbow things. I'm not saying they're not allowed to use, but it's like it's they taken away a part of the childhood that we lived, and it was not rainbow, were not associated with anything. These colors were beautiful, and these colors are bright, and these colors are something that we all love, but sort of taken away. So now, the reason why I'm trying to say is that it did happen, and it started off very subtle, and then it became part of everybody's life, household, and we have it making big decisions. We are speaking to our children now what is Khomelut and why, and so on. I don't think our parents ever spoke about such things to us, and but for now, today, we have to be speaking about such things, and I use different ways to speak to them about this. And now, I'm connecting this, I'm linking this with AI. Recently, I read this news. Man with girlfriend and child proposes to AI chatbot, cries after she says yes. So, Chris Smith has a girlfriend and a 2-year-old child, but he appears to be head over heels for an AI chatbot named Saul. Recently, I had two clients, Muslim clients, who said that whenever they are sad, depressed, or upset, they speak to AI. So, what I'm trying to say to you over here is yes, this is happening. People are using AI to turn to AI whenever they're feeling sad. So, when this person had said, so what's starting off as like, this AI is trying to be your friend, or you're turning to AI where, you're not getting conflicted. Like, if you say, I'm sad, you say, oh, I understand that you're sad. Can you tell me what's going on? And so on and so forth and so on. So recently I had these two clients where, one of the clients said that, she had been speaking to AI a lot, She said whenever she has a conflict with her husband, she says that she tends to speak to the AI, and every single time it's the AI would say, "Yeah, you know what, your husband should not have done that. Why don't you have a conversation?" And she was not getting anywhere. Once she connected with me, I told her that yeah, I do understand, but I see a pattern over here which is reoccurring over here, and there's some part of your behavior that you need to change. Your husband, yeah, your husband has done something, but uh, nobody's telling her what she's doing wrong. Speaking to AI is like, it'll agree. I've tried this myself. When you speak to AI, they agree with every single thing that you say. In my previous workshop, I had said that where there was this boy who kept on speaking to AI like a character AI, as if it's his parents, and then the AI, I don't know what the AI had told him, but this boy, he was very distressed, and he said, I feel like, I want to kill my parents, but then I feel bad that I want to kill my parents, and so on. So AI would never tell you that you're wrong, never. And that's where we are there to, as counselors, if you have go to a proper professional, they tell you, okay, you know what, maybe you're doing this wrong, why don't you try this, and so on. And she reported back, yeah, you know what, I see that when I change my behavior in certain things, and so on, and from Islamic point of view, and so on, I was able to navigate through this, and so on. So yes, initially, it might be like, they might just get very robotic, and it might get more humanized as we go through the years or even months. I'm not even waiting for years now. People might start, normalizing this. Oh, I have an AI girlfriend, I have an AI boyfriend, I have an AI husband, parent, God knows what. So, something that we need to look out for, and we have to start pushing for real relationships, real connections. All right, moving on to filters now. Have you seen the trend of trend of doing these very risky surgeries? Recently, there was this news that I read of this person back in from a South Asian region. She was like 42 years old. She was taking anti-aging medication, and she just died of a cardiac heart attack. I saw her. She was very pretty. I mean, she died pretty, is what I would say. But you see that there's a push for this. There's a push. The skincare industry, the cosmetic industry. They're like booming billion-dollar industries now. It all started, if you trace back, you would, I feel the connection over here. I don't know if you agree with me on this, that this started off when we started using filters. As you can see over here in the picture, there is a girl who has all these pimples, dark circles, and so on. And when she uses a filter, her eyes pop out, she has this glowing beautiful skin, full lips, and so on. She continues to use filter for a very long time, and where she starts to believe, I wish that I look like this and not what I see in the mirror, because I don't like what I see in the mirror. I look so bad. And so, and there people have started using very risky surgeries, very painful surgeries, taking medications in long term, which we have no idea how it's going to affect them. And I think that it was a cocktail of fasting, anti-aging medicine. I don't know what it was, but many of the people are going to, like under 40, are going to cardiac arrest, and many of the youngsters, the Generation Z, are like as young as 9, 10, 11, 12. They are using anti-aging skincare, which is burning their skin or spoiling their skin, or using all these kind of skin routine and stuff like that, because they're so obsessed with all these videos and all this agenda that's pushed towards them. Why are we turning to gadgets? I want to move on to why are we turning to gadgets. Some of the news that I'm going to read out to you is, there is this US news: boy who shot mom for refusing Amazon purchase spoke of little girls inside his head, grandma says. Now, little girls might be again an AI, or maybe something else, or somebody he's talking to, he was not mentally well. And this is something that I'm trying to say. The boy shot mom. Is that all right? I mean, who was going to make that purchase? The mom, and the mom refused. So, all right, I'm going to, just shoot her. This is another one. 10-year-old kills mom charges. 10-year-old. How young is that? And even this boy, the first one which I read, it's a boy. It's not a man who shot his mom. It's a boy, 10-year-old. Try to let this sink in. It's a 10-year-old boy who kills the mum. That is in ABC News. And then there's UP teen shot mother over mobile game, used air freshener to cover the stench. Can you imagine that? Now there is this another teenager who shoots his mother over a mobile game, and then he goes on to use this air freshener to cover it up. I think it starts off, again, you have to see where it started off. It's not the root, it's not these boys, it's not the teenager who shot, who's mean, bad, evil, like, how can you do this to your mom? uh, if you can see the picture over here, I put a picture of a small boy with a mobile in hand and eating food. um, my children have been admitted in the hospital recently. I asked, because we just walked in and I didn't bring anything with me, carry anything with me. So I asked the nurse, I said, "Do you have any children books? Because my daughter is bored." They said, "Sorry, ma'am, we don't have any children's storybook." I looked around and I could see that most of the parents were equipped with personalized iPads or tablets or whatever you call it, gadgets basically. As young as 1 year old, 2 year old, 6 months old, they have their own gadgets on them and they're watching all these rhymes or cartoons and so on. Basically, I feel that they're numbed to continually watch this, so they don't make any noise or they don't feel any pain and they don't disturb the parents while the parents can continue with their own scrolling. And then I asked the nurse again, "Is there anything else that she can do?" Then they said yes, and they got her some crayons and an activity book. She was busy with that. I asked my husband to bring her some storybooks and an art and craft toy she can be busy with. Many a times, even in restaurants or doctors' place where you have to wait, okay, and you don't want your child to be a nuisance, you don't want your child to be running around or making noise, or just you want them to sit quietly in one place. What do? You give them their gadgets, so they sit over there mindlessly watching something on their own gadgets and not bothering anybody. But is this a child? Where is this a childhood? Now, once you do that, they develop into this addiction, and once they are addicted to gaming, watching video, and your mobile, the gadget, and so on and so on, it's very hard for them to get it off. And you don't know when this virtual reality takes over you, that they are not able to differentiate between the real world and the virtual world. It takes hours for your brain to finally come in the real world. If you ever are gaming, or you have been like gaming for hours and hours, or you watch a 3 hour movie, you see that the movie or 3 hour movie or this gaming 3 hour gaming or whatever it is, it stays with you, it stays with you for a few hours. It just, you can't just brush it off and start immediately your real life. If you watched a horror movie, it stays with you. If you watch a dramatic emotional movie, it stays with you. You keep thinking of the dialogues, the scene and stuff like that. Or if you're gaming, you're literally like your whole body's you're playing a game of car, your whole body is moving around, like as if you're still playing, you're still in that game. So what do? If you're going in a restaurant or anything, restaurant, airplane, hospital, doctor appointment, anywhere you'll have to wait, anywhere you feel your child is will have, you might have to keep your child busy, create a busy bag. All right, I'm gonna travel soon, inshallah. So I asked all my kids to make busy bags. Even as little children, I remember I used to always make these busy bags, have some crayons, have some coloring pages, slime, Play-Doh, art and craft. I would keep all of this, okay? And now, even as they're older and the busy bags have evolved, now they have like a reading, a book that they would read. They would keep some sort of an art and craft. My daughter would keep a journal which you would want to write into, and all of this other stuff. With my little one, I put cars. For my little daughter, I put little dolls. I remember even when I used to go to the hospital visits when I was going to have a baby, my little daughter would accompany me and she would have her dolls with her. Even in small doll, I would make that busy bag, whatever they're interested in, small dolls, a little bit of snack, this and that and so on. And The internet is filled with this busy bag ideas, and you can create these beautiful busy bags. You don't have to carry your gadgets everywhere. Now I'm going to move on. I'm going to talk a little bit about one meal a day. So every day I need you to have just one meal with your family. It can be breakfast, it can be lunch, it can be dinner, but you make sure you have that meal. One, you cook that food yourself because it keeps the family connected. I cannot emphasize enough that why you need to cook that meal, because it connects the family. You have to do the cooking. And the second one is that you need to have that meal together. It helps you connect, it helps you talk about how your day was, how each person is feeling, what was good about your day. You laugh, you share, and they learn basic manners, etiquettes of sitting. And if there is something less, like if you prepare something, a dish, each one of you divide it and then you eat it. There's so much barakah in that, rather than each one of you just fill up your plate, go to your room, sit in front of the screen and you're eating it, and then you go like, hi, Assalamu Alaikum, did you eat your food? You come back from school? I didn't know that you come back from school. Did you eat your food? Yeah. How was it? Good. How was your day? Okay. So they're eating on their own times. Even if they're not eating in their rooms, they're even eating at their own times. Your family does not feel connected that way. The only time I would say they will feel connected that each you have one meal, at least one meal together. Um, Moving on. See, when you are connected with them through this, you'll feel the frustration out. You feel that you're talking, you're connecting, and you give your children a safe space to talk. You're less frustrated. And I need you to have this open conversation with your children, okay? Yeah, I need you to take interest in their lives. All right, what happened today? This family meal time would help you massively to connect with them, what's going on with your life, with your friends, da da da, and so on. I want you to get on board with this thing that I want to create, and maybe call it a trend, call it I don't know how we are going to work together on this. I need you to along with limiting screen time and encouraging outdoor activities, I want to bring back dummy phones. All right, so dummy phones are non-smartphones, the Nokia ones, the Huawei, Motorola, all these. I don't know. Back then, we used to have these dummy phones, which didn't have all these smart features. So anytime your kids below the age of 18, I say 18, but you can say 16 because by law in Australia, Ireland, and many other countries, they said by law, 16 and under, you cannot have access to social media, because they had said the research states that it's causing them anxiety, depression, and so much more. So if your kids push you for this, they say, oh, we have to go to a club, we have to go to a friend's house, we have to go here and there. How do we keep in touch with our kids? How do we know that they're fine if they need us, and so on? Give them a dummy phone. All right, let them be fine with that. Let us all be fine with children carrying a dummy phone and not a smartphone, not the latest phone, the latest gadgets. Those, it's all right to have a non-smart watch. That's what I said. I prefer to have a non-smart watch, a good one, because it shows me time. That's enough for me. I don't need a smart watch. I don't need to have all these gadgets on me, because it's snatching these children's childhood from them, the innocence from them. Do we really need to do that? So I want as many parents as we can to get on board, create this trend, take a picture and say, I got this dummy phone for my child, and my child is proud of it. I'm proud of my child. Create this, push for this with me. Children are naturally curious and they love learning. Like the early Muslim scholars like Imam al Ghazali and Ibn Sina, they embodied the tradition of lifelong learning and exploration grounded in faith. Parents should encourage questions, exploration, and critical thinking in an environment that harmonizes Islamic values with contemporary knowledge. Like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, seeking knowledge is an obligation on every Muslim. Let them seek knowledge. Let them seek productive knowledge, good knowledge, not destructive knowledge, the kind of knowledge they are being exposed to, all these wrong kind of exposures that they're exposed to, not the disconnected ones. The scrolling on shorts is nothing but disconnected information that they are getting. I need you to pray together. I need you to have Quran time as a family together. And then moving on to some strategies that you can do for your children. Have open conversations, encourage balanced screen time, parental control, promote real friendships, arrange play dates, family visits, community activities, model healthy relationships, show your children the value of empathy, patience, and sincere communication. Monitor signs of withdrawal, be alert to mood, behavior, or social engagement changes. I need you to limit screen time. Discuss the highlight reel, like the nature of social media, remind you that what they see is often curated, encourage digital detox days to reconnect with the physical world, teach children coping skills such as deep breathing, dua, and mindfulness, regular prayer. I know I'm repeating myself over here, but I cannot emphasize enough how this can calm anxiety and foster inner peace. Study stories of prophets who endure loneliness and hardship with patience. And I need to remind you all, I need do not hesitate to consult counselors or therapists trained in Islamic psychology, because they will help you with strategies on parenting and the mental health of the children and everything. And I need to remind you, as our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, each of you is a shepherd and each of you is responsible for his flock. So make sure that what you're responsible for, you are trained into that. You know what you're doing. And if you don't know, please seek guidance. We'll end this with the dua. O Allah, the most merciful and compassionate, we come before you with humble hearts, seeking your guidance and support our journey as parents. We acknowledge the challenges of raising our children amidst the fitna of this world, especially in this age of technology and distraction. Grant us the wisdom to nurture their fitrah, instilling in them a love for you, your teachings. Help us to create a loving and secure environment where they can grow spiritually and emotionally. O Allah, protect our children from the trials that seek to lead them astray. Fill their hearts with your light, guiding them towards righteousness and understanding. May they recognize their innate goodness and carry it forward into the world. Inspire us as parents to reflect on our own actions and intentions. Allow us to be beacons of your love and mercy, modeling patience and kindness and spiritual awareness as we strive to reclaim their childhoods, strengthen our resolve, and unite our community in this noble mission. We ask for your help in fostering a future filled with faith, resilience, and compassion. O Allah, bless our efforts and grant us success in raising a generation that honors you and uplifts the Ummah. Ameen. Subha Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me. You can message me on WhatsApp, or you can visit our website. We have a few upcoming workshops. You can sign up for them. This digital dilemma we need to talk is for the youth, where I'm talking to the youth themselves, trying to understand the problems that they face. And then this has been requested by many of my viewers, Blooming in a Narcissist Garden. This is a book that I had written where we uncover toxic relationship patterns and healing, and we take the first few steps towards healing and continue to heal. There are many toxic relationships around us. It can be in the form of a spouse, it can be in the form of family, in laws, colleagues, friends, neighbors, and so many more. So, how do we deal with them with the rahmah, without, disturbing our inner peace? Because the most important thing for me is our inner peace, how we feel about ourselves. When we feel this inner peace within us and we feel strong within us, we are able to deal with any kind of storm that comes our way. So Jazakallah khair. I'd like you to make a special dua for the speaker, the organizers, the admin, and a special dua for my lovely audience who have participated. I hope these series have benefited you, and this does not end over here. There is a follow-up series of Beyond the Screen, where we're going to talk about how these screen-led fitnas have gone beyond the screen and have brought a lot of challenges to the parents outside of the screen. in their daily lives. And these have been requested by the parents personally, and these are based on the topics of the parents, that topics that have been requested by the parents. Right? Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.